Well, good morning, everybody. I made it to the lake, and it is beautiful up here. Came up last night, and my brother was already here, my brother Dean, and he had a great big roaring fire going. So I unloaded all the necessities that I needed to, and walked Molly around the area so she could stretch her legs a little bit because she was all cramped up on the floor in the vehicle, and sat over and around the campfire last night. So it was very nice because it was a little bit cool. There's a little bit of a breeze coming up the back of the valley where kind of the Fox Creek is, and so it was a little bit cool. So I even had to go put a sweater on. It was that cold, and I usually don't ever need a sweater. So a little light sweater around the campfire, and it was lovely. Sat and visited for an hour or so, and then went down and had our evening Friday night cocktail and visited with everybody down there for a little bit. Had a little pizza. They have one of those really neat pizza makers, and I'm sure everybody's seen them, but I'm used to the old, looks like a oven, you know, put it on and you shut the door, and this is those new, I don't know what they're called, infrared or whatever they are, but you know, you see the pizza setting out, and it has a little heating device, and then it rotates. The heating device stays, the pizza rotates and cooks it that way, and I think the plate underneath is hot too. So I had a little pizza. I like it that way because then you can smell it, but then you gotta wait for it. So we had pizza and came back, and we went to bed fairly early. It was before midnight, which is early, and did that, and then got up this morning and just did some putzing around. I like cleaning up here. I don't like cleaning at home, but when I'm up here, it's a whole little bit different thing. I hope I'm not too out of sorts and center here. The neighbors are doing target practice this morning. Molly's hiding underneath the kitchen table right now because they'll stop and she won't come out. I've tried to pull her out of there and she doesn't want to be out. It's too noisy. She doesn't like it. Pretty funny for some loud yippy dog that she doesn't like the noise. So she's heading out. So I'm sorry about the ruckus going on, but everybody's, like I said, it's late morning, so I was busy cleaning and brought my Swiffer up to get all the little cobwebs and whatnot that are all in the corners that accumulate from, you know, when you're not here. And did that this morning and just did some putsy stuff and finished off one pot of coffee. Sorry about the noise. A little background entertainment for you, I guess, this morning. And then today, Dean got a call, and some friends of his, Mike and Teresa, will be coming up for a visit this afternoon sometime, so that will be nice to see them. I've met them many times over the years. They come up here a couple times during the season, and then I see them at Wizard World. They're always there supporting Dean for that too. Dean's been up since the break of dawn. I got up and did a couple things, put my coffee on, and I turned my oven on and opened it up just to get some, because I forgot my little electric heater, so I don't have that up here, just to get some warmth up here, because it just get the chill out of the air. It didn't take much, because the trailer was all closed up. I had the oven on, open there. I know it's not the safest. It's just me. And I was awake. I won't ever do that, like, fall back to sleep. So I did that, just got under my covers and looked at a magazine a little bit, and then when it was, like, warm enough, I got up and made my breakfast and had my egg beaters and my toast, and Molly was there to help me. And that's all we're doing today. Just another peaceful weekend. This is my favorite time of year. I love fall up here. It's not officially. There's little Molly. Hey, Molly. Oh, you scared. She might be bumping into the tripod a little bit. Sorry about that if she does. Oh, she's sitting here like, what's going on? What's that noise? Because we never fire guns at our house, so that loud noise. She's like, what is it? I don't even know. So it's a relaxing day. Just going to take our walks. Me and Molly will probably take 4 or 5 walks. I'm going to try to do is where the lake is, there's a little tributary, or not tributary, that leads into the lake, wouldn't it be? A little waterway that goes back to the, got a cobweb on my hand, where'd that come from? Goes back to the Fox River. The bridge was taken out, was that last year that it was? Yeah, the bridge went out with ice, so there's no bridge where you can walk over it anymore. So, and that took out the boat landing and everything. And the DNR kind of said, no, you can't put that back there the way it was. It's got to be, and it's been that way since the 1930s that they had this rock bridge in that it got washed out, and they would just bring rocks back in, and it kept the level of the lake to where it needed to be. And then somehow the DNR found out about it. Probably off, I think somebody said somebody's Facebook page or something, who knows. Social media, it's good and not so good. So Brother Dean is taking off in his golf cart. I said he is up early out there with that campfire and stuff, and he's just tooling around today. So the DNR stepped in and says, nope, you can't do what you've done for decades, you have to have an official engineered bridge in there. So the Lake Association had meetings and whatnot and came to a conclusion of, yep, they're going to put the dam back in because the water level in the lake dropped over a foot, or 1 to 2. I'm not. It's variable depending on the rainfall and stuff. So if you're a homeowner or a resort owner on the lake, that's kind of hard because it drops the water levels down. So your docks might not even be long enough to get out to the lake to have your boat on the dock because you have to extend it because the water level will be down. So anywho, they are going to put the dam in. We thought it was going to be this fall or spring, and now we heard that definitely next fall will be put in. So that will be nice. The water level will go up, which is healthier. The fish, because they kind of all go into the deep because they don't like it when it's warm. When it's really warm, the fish isn't good because they go for the deep, cool waters. You think, oh, they don't want to be in that warm water. I don't know if they're uncomfortable or whatever, but they like the cooler water. So, or by springs or whatever. So they'll do that next year, and that'll be nice because we'll have our boat landing back. You can go right now and put like canoes and stuff. Otherwise, if you have a bigger boat or a bass boat or fishing boat, excuse me, you have to go around the lake, and it's not like you can just drive over there. You gotta go like all the way around the lake to this way, or all the way around the lake to that way to put a boat in. So we did in the spring is we did that. My brother put his pontoon boat in. Hi, puppy. I'm sorry. And then we just keep it docked, because we have docks on the resort, and you just rent your little spot on the dock. So you put it in the spring and take it out in the fall. So it's no biggie for us, but they get weekend campers or week campers up here, so then they can't do that. So they got to do the whole roundabout thing, which is kind of inconvenient. But next fall, when the dam is put in, it's going to be a boulder dam. So I mean, usually it's like big rocks that they put in, so that's why it gets washed out all the time. Oh, she's so scared. There'll be big structured boulders that they'll do it so the fish can go through and back, for spawning or whatever, and there'll be some type of walk structure over the top of it. Before we had like just a metal bridge, but it was a very nice bridge that you could walk over, and that would take you over to, I think it's Baker's Road on the other side, and I love taking that walk because I just like to go house watch, or not house watch, house look, someday when I'm all my bills are paid up, I don't know if that day will ever come, and my Visa's paid off, probably not because I'm always charging on it, I don't know, but I've got one little bank loan that's going to be paid off in like 7 months. That will be great. And then I have another one that my husband lent me that will be paid off in 2 years. And then my Visa, like I said, that's going to be perpetual. I'll never have that thing paid off because I use it. I wish I could be one of those people who say, if I can't afford it, I don't do it. I just pay my interest and my monthly payments on my Visa. I know it's bad. I don't know. I wish it could be better. It's always been that way. I've always paid my bills. And I don't ever not pay them. I know some people will charge their Visas up to astronomical amounts, and then they just don't pay on them. And then you see their name in the paper in court because they're getting sued by the company, and they claim bankruptcy and all that type of stuff. I'm not going down that road. I can pay my bills, but I shouldn't be using it. But there's protection. I know anytime that we've gone on trips, and it has saved us once, big time, everybody goes, I pay for cash for everything, which is great. But we had a big trip that we had planned. It was a cruise. So it was through a, let me think of it, travel agency called Hop Travel up in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And we booked everything through that. Well, they went defunct or bankrupt or whatever. The workers went to work one day, closed the doors. So all these people that had booked all these trips, bye-bye, see your money. Things were reserved with the airlines, and your cruise was reserved, however they do that in the travel agency world. So that was all reserved, but not paid for necessarily. So I think it was that our cruise was paid for. We had given the money, and that part was paid for. Our airline tickets were reserved. That spot was held. But not paid for, even though we had given the travel agency our money. Well, thank goodness it was on a credit card, so then you could dispute that and all that type of stuff, and we ended up getting all of our money back from for the airline tickets, thank goodness, and ended up Sun Country Airlines, was nice enough to hold all those spots because they knew what had happened. They weren't going to like, oh, open spots, let's just sell them. because they weren't paid for. They held them and gave everybody the time to call them. I was on hold one night for like 3 hours, I think. I put it on speakerphone. I just went around my business waiting, because all these people, I mean thousands of people had booked through this travel agency, and it was really sad. There were some very sad stories, like whole families, you know, like 15 people had saved up all this cash and money for this big family extravaganza. I mean, we're talking about $20,000 for this whole big, huge family reunion trip, airfare cruise, or whatever they were doing. I'm not quite sure. And they paid cash. They paid cash, and they were out. It was sad. I know we had gotten an email from that booking agent who worked for Hobbit, and I felt bad for her, because she says, she, you know, emailed everybody, said, so sorry, if I can help you, me and this other girl that worked for the one we went through opened up their own little agency. If we can help you rebook or whatever, we're here for you. And she said that she went to work and the door was locked. The door, or however, I don't know however they did it, but it was gone. They had no warning at all. They went to work, their jobs were done. End of story. So it didn't only affected the workers, and all these people. Like I said, if we would have had that on our credit card and had that credit card protection, we'd have been out that money too. We ended up better off, other than the extreme amount of stress I was under trying to take care of all this stuff and book it. But those people that were out that money, how awful. They probably saved for 5+ years or who knows what. And they were out all that money. And they could go to something, I can't remember, it's something case. What's that called when a bunch of people sue somebody? I don't know, you see it on TV. If you had this injury due to this thing, there's a whatever case. Some people got a small portion of their money back, but nothing like they should have, which is unfortunate. How did I get off of that? I have no idea again. So anyway, that was just one of my travel stories. So it's just a day of relaxation, and today's coffee mug is Cave of the Mounds. And where is that? I do not remember. Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, which is southern Wisconsin. If you go traveling down to the Dells area, that's what we did. We went to the Dells and cut over across the strait and went to House on the Rock, which I've talked about. And it is a large cavern system down there with, you know, the stalactites and stalagmites, and the history of how it was found and all that. It was like a nice little tour stop, but it was a really nice cave system. It wasn't just itty bitty. It was like, you know, it was pretty spread out and very interesting, and a lot of history of, you know, from back in the day when it was all found. So if you're ever in southern Wisconsin, when you're going to House on the Rock perhaps, or Wisconsin Dells, it wasn't too far from the Dells either, I think maybe an hour drive. Cave of the Mounds, Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. It's a nice little trip. Southern Wisconsin, there's lots of stuff to do. In the whole state there is. So not doing too much. Excuse me, I am so sorry. I took my allergy meds. I got up right away and popped my allergy med. And I am still doing the cruelty-free journey. This week is, what makeup am I doing this week? Wet n Wild. Sorry. Get that down. Wet n Wild. Oh, my first couple days with it didn't go so well. There is a learning curve when you're using different products and stuff, you know, when you're used to using something forever and a day, and you switch up the whole product line, everything. I had a learning curve, and at first I was very unhappy with all of it, but I'm not going to start on that. I'm going to do a whole little, I was going to do a week, I might do 2 weeks, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, a review of the makeup line, and kind of tell you all about that, but I will do that another time, because otherwise I'll be sitting here for a half hour with you having coffee. So that is my day. I'm up north. It's lovely. I already did my little cleaning. I'm going around my yard this afternoon and doing some stick pickup. And me and Molly will go for several walks. And that's what I was going to say. So there's no bridge there anymore. Let's dial it back to when I was talking about the bridge. So you can't walk across to go across to look at all the homes, because I like to look at the, I don't know how I got in the travel thing. I just like to look at everybody's homes for someday when all my stuff is paid off, that I can buy a little lake house. That is my dream, to buy just a little teeny, you know, one little bedroom, itty bitty, like 600 square foot little something on the lake, with lake frontage that you can walk down to, because you got to think, you know, when you get older, you see that people will buy lake homes and they get older and they can't maintain the yard because it's too much to maintain. Or the access to the lake is so steep to get to, it's kind of hazardous to get to when you're older. You know, because your hips and knees and this and that and your coordination aren't what they are when you're younger. We're going to take a little walk across the bridge, and that will be our day. We're going to wade through the water, get across, look at some nice little houses and stuff, and dream of something we might have sometime. So have a great weekend, and I will catch you on Labor Day, Friday for coffee next time. Everybody take care. Have a great week.